Tonight we will go to Piedmont. In these tough and depressing pandemic times, when we are only allowed to leave our houses if we are out of toilet paper, the best alternative to travel without abandoning your fortress is wine. So sit back, relax, and join me on 20 Italian wine regions with Corkbreaker. Let's go! Please don't judge me, but Piedmont is one of the least exciting Italian wine regions for me.
Take it back.
And there are few reasons for that. First of all, you can see wines of Piedmont everywhere because the region makes the Burgundy Grand Cru level red wines, so naturally it will be on the dinner table of every true Italian wine lover. Another reason is that Barolo was one of the first Italian wines I learned about, and we also got much deeper into this region in some school compared to the other Italian wine regions. I definitely don't mean that I know this region like my neighborhood. I am just quite familiar with it, and it less surprises me than, for example, Umbria, which I could not even show on the map. And lastly is the price. Same with Burgundy, it is pretty tough to learn about the wines which I cannot afford. It is the country's second largest region, sitting in the northwest of Italy, bordering with Switzerland to the north, France to the west, Lombardia to the east, and Liguria to the south. It also has the biggest number of DOCGs, which is 17, partly because of its topography. The thing is, to make an excellent wine, you have to have mountains somewhere around. And Piemonte, which name translates as a foot of the mountains, is surrounded by the Alps to the north and west and Apennines to the south. Actually, only 5% of the region is considered to be flat. So it's simple. Hills offer lots of sun, and diurnal temperatures give the opportunity to ripen the grapes till the max. Soils depend on the altitude. On the higher slopes you will have more limestone, and lower will be more sand and sedimentary clay. Because of the proximity from ice-cold Alps to Mediterranean Sea, temperature variations makes the area fill up with fog, what helps to cool the grapes during summer. I decided to divide this region by its grapes. First of all is Nebbiolo. It makes a rigid, tannic, long-aging wines, best known for Barolo, which is located southwest of the city of Alba in the Apennines, and Barbaresco, located northeast of the Alba, and there makes lighter tasting and less tannic Nebbiolos than Barolo. Then there is a region's most planted grape, Barbera, and best examples come from Barbara di Alba and Barbara di Este. This wine is darker in color and is chosen as a top pick by the locals because of its versatility and ease of drinkability. Third grape is Dolcetto, which is mainly meant to be drunk young because of lower acidity. And lastly, Braccetto, which makes a sweet and floral bubbly, which tastes like strawberries, called Braccetto di Acqui. For the white grapes, we have Moscato, which makes sweet sparkling wines in the same area as Barolo, called Moscato d'Asti. Second grape is Cortese, which makes famous dry acidic agave wines. And lastly is Arnese, medium-bodied, fresh and grassy wines in Roero DOCG. Now it's time to check what else to do in the area. First stop would be at Forte de Fenestrelle. Built in the early 1700s, when French King Louis XIV built this fortress with 3-kilometer wall for defense during the 9 Years' War. It is also called the Great Wall of Piedmont, but it's 7 times shorter than his older sibling, the Great Chinese Wall. Next on my list is Lago de Orta. I chose it because in its center is a medieval village called San Giulio. Don't know about you, but I never been or even seen a village in the center of the lake, so I cannot miss it. And last thing on my list is Biccerin. It is a layered coffee made from espresso, chocolate and whole milk, popular in Turin. Personally, I only drink just plain coffee with no sugar or milk, but if Alessandro Dumas was a big time fan of this beverage, well, I would also give it a shot.
1, 2, 3, shot!
And the wine of the region is Montesoro 2018 by La Giustiniana Winery. I see your faces, you were like, what? Not Barolo or Barbaresco? Yes, I like to do everything opposite. They even call me Mr. Opposite.
I doubt that.
La Giustiniana is located in Rovereto di Gave, which is the heart of Gave DOCG, and is quite a big property covering 110 hectares, of which 40 hectares are vineyards. First ones who made wine in this area were Cistercians at around the year 1100. In the year 1603, Gianfrancesco Giustiniani bought the estate and built this neoclassical villa. After 8 years, fathers of San Nicolo del Boscetto in Genoa acquired the property that remained their heritage until 1798, when Napoleon confiscated it. Since then, it was owned by many Genoese important families and powerful entrepreneurs up until 2016, when present owners Magda Pedrini and Stefano Massone decided to take over this beauty. This wine is made from Cortesa grapes, which grow on alluvial gravel and rich in iron clay soil, which is also called red soils. No oak or something like that, only aging on fine leaves for 6 months before bottling. Let's taste it. It has medium intensity lemon color on the nose, intense aromas of lemon, lime, freshly cut grass, unripe peach, pear and seashell. Mouth has high acidity, medium plus alcohol and pleasant amount of sugar. On the palate, fresh honey melon. For the conclusions, I chose this wine just to show all of you that white wines from Piemonte are as awesome as the red ones. If you don't comment, at least push the like button, and if I am not asking too much, follow and subscribe. Salute!